Hey everyone, Kendra here. So I said that the last video of the Genogram stuff was the last one. This is gonna be like the last. Um anyway, because I didn't really go over my Genogram with you guys and show you like what kind of the finished result was. So it's kind of challenging to see because of just my setup. But anyway, so here I had, like I had said, this is upside down. Like I had said, there's brackets. This is my maternal. So here I have my Newt Rannells, which is my maternal great grandfather. And then I had the maternal great grandma, Udell Burleson. And then they were married. And then I have my markers here of where, of the legend I had gone over in the second video. And then I just have all of these lines going to the kiddos, that kind of thing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 great aunts. This is my granny. Okay. So this is my great grandma. This is my granny. And then of course I have markers next to them. And because we're going back to my granny, I'm not putting anything where my aunts are. Okay. So here's my granny, Juana Sue Coleman, my maternal grandmother, which I call Granny. And at the time, she was 89 when I did this. Now she's older than that. I don't know how old she is. She's like 92 or 93. I don't know. Anyway, and then she went on to get with her first marriage, which I put here, with Billy Whitlock, which is my maternal grandfather, which they had Gail Walden, Billy Sue, and my mama. Okay. She, down here, then I have my mom. So I'm not really worried about these people, like my aunts. I'm not really worried about my aunts. Like, I'm not, I know that there's a lot going on here, and there is a lot with their kids as well, like the patterns of the family, the genogram, that kind of thing. But I was really focused on just straight down great grandparents, my granny, my grandpa. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but my upstairs neighbor, I don't know what they do all day. Like those memes where they're like stomping around, have chains and shit, and like I don't know what they're doing, but it sounds just like those memes. And I hope that I am not that neighbor because I'm also on the second floor. So there's someone below me. And I'm always like, man, I don't know. Anyway, so I go back to my mom, get here to my mom, Tammy Grimes, right? And then see, I have all of these relationships because all of these relationships, they mean a lot, right? Like the type of relationships they're having with each other. So I may not be concerned about who my aunts are married to or my cousins, but I am concerned about my great grandfather's grandparents, great grandparents' relationship with their kids, and then my great aunts and my granny's relationship with each other, and then my mom's relationship with her sisters and her relationship with her her mom. And here would be the second marriage of my granny. And oh, it would be the third. Okay, so she had a second marriage. And I should have put that on there and I didn't. But she had a very brief second marriage to somebody who was very abusive. And I don't know why I didn't put it on there. I must have had like a brain fart. But anyway, the third marriage, Norman Coleman, the step grandfather. Okay. So, like I was saying in those videos, all of these people have like the same exact patterns. That's what I was saying, right? So, anyway, so then my mom, so then I have her fourth marriage here, and then I had her, her with my dad. They weren't married. They were just living together, which is why there's this little dotted line. She was married before that. And I think that I didn't put it on there because it's like, it's important to know that she did have other marriages, right? That my sister's father was her fourth marriage. My dad was the relationship before my sister's dad, right? I know it's confusing, but anyway, so it's important to know that, but I didn't want to put it on here. It was just a lot. But it's just important to know the types of people she dated, the types of people she married, the kind of those patterns and things, which you can pick up from writing things down and stuff like that. Now, if you want to put it on your genogram, put it on your genogram. Okay. So with her fourth marriage to Elton, I have my half sister Shelby. She hates it when I say that. I'm sorry, Shelby, if you watch this, because she's like my whole sister. We grew up together in the same house, right? And so then we have me, and then I had Kelly, right? Which is my dad. So then I went to the paternal side. Now, this is where we don't have a lot of information because my biological dad's family was just very dysfunctional. Like all families are dysfunctional in their own way, in my opinion. But this was just one of those times where there's just not a lot of information for anything, really. But it is what it is. So I found out what I could, I didn't know this stuff. I didn't know there was, my great grandfather's name was Robert. I didn't know that David was like his brother. I didn't know that, or what would it be? David. That is his uncle? I don't know. I didn't know that these things existed. Okay. It's just, I haven't looked at this in a long time, y'all. Okay, give me a break. But anyway, the thing is see, he had a first marriage. Now on this, I did put his marriages because that really mattered to me, right? It really mattered because it just did. So I put his first marriage, which we think is his first marriage to my mom. And then he had kind of I'll tell you in a second. So there's just a lot here. And I found out I have another sibling. But I just found that out this year. Okay, so here's the dealio with this. There's patterns. And for me, the reason why this was so important and the catalyst behind all of this stuff was that I kept picking people who really sucked as my partners. I too had a very tumultuous relationship type of thing with intimate partners, with anyone who was a friend, my sister, just unhealthy patterns, right? Just unhealthy. And I really needed to get to the root of why I also was just like I felt like a bitch. Like I was a bitch. I was self-absorbed. I was just didn't care about anybody. And all of these things were just peeling off layers of the onion. They were just protective factors. They were just me protecting myself and not having any self-worth. None. And not having anything that just like I had no confidence whatsoever in myself. And it's taken such a long time to get there, right? Especially like when you're abandoned by your dad, which I was. I didn't get a DNA test that say that he was my paternal father, biological father, until I was like in my mid 20s, late 20s. And then come to find out, in between him, like with my mom, he was with Lynn, and then that's why one of my brothers is so close in age to me. And then between the time he was with Lynn and the time he was with my other half sister Jordan's mom Tracy, he also had another a sexual relationship that produced a child who was adopted by a family who now they live in Northeast United States. And yeah, so there's just so much there, right? And it's just hurt people just living their life and trying to meet their needs the best they can. And they don't know that they didn't have their needs met. And they're just running around trying to fill these gaping holes, these wounds with things that aren't going to solve anything. Okay. So, anyway, that's the end of this. And like I said in the other video, this is to understand. It's not to hate on people. It's not to have resentment. It's to heal. It's to learn about yourself, to learn about your family, to become more compassionate and open, to have boundaries, to just investigate and be curious. I'm not saying that having these really big, yucky feelings isn't something that's going to happen, because it is going to happen more than likely. But I'm saying that it's a way that you got to push it out. You got to push all the gunk out. It's kind of like when you get a clog in your sink or whatever, and you have to put something down it or get one of the Roto-Rooter thingies and put it down it and push that clog out so that things can start flowing. That's kind of what these practices do. And it's really important to do that. Now, if you can't, if it's unavailable to you to manage your nervous system, I suggest doing all of these things with somebody who is a licensed professional or a certified professional in some way, some health healing, counseling, therapy way. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. And if you like this video, please subscribe, like it, share it. If you have any questions, contact me. My information is below. And don't forget that I wrote a book, Wellness, 47 Simple Wellness Tips for the Body, Mind, and Soul. Just type my name into Amazon.